Hey everyone, welcome to the first live draft for Fantasy Endgame MLB of the season. We're gonna do best ball. It's still February. It's still a little bit early, but draft season is basically almost here. But I want to start with this because I think best ball is a great format to draft early on. And so let's get into it. We do this all the time for Fantasy Endgame NFL. If you watch our other channel, you probably do. Then you know that we do draft all season long. Now, I'll explain the format. Want to make sure this draft filled up and it's full and it's starting. So I'm going to let you see the draft board right here and let's take it full screen. So here we go. We are on Underdog. And by the way, talk about draft season. It is draft season a lot of places. You know, the TGFBI, the Great Fantasy Baseball Invitational, is about to get underway. That's an industry draft, and I'm going to take part in it again. In fact, I'm going to go live about an hour for Potapalooza. So anybody who happens to be watching, you can check that out. Just search Potapalooza on YouTube, and you can see what that's all about. But anyways, this is going to be a best ball draft on Underdog. So in best ball, a slightly different beast. It's not that different. You see, of course, Ronald Acuna, the 1-1. The studs are still the studs. Soto, Judge, Betts, Julio Rodriguez, Shohei Ohtani. It looks like I was given the 10th spot here. So let's see who's available. Now you might notice all outfielders. All outfielders. There's Corbin Carroll. All outfielders. That's not going to be that different from your typical fantasy baseball draft, but it's actually a little more important in these Underdog best ball drafts. And I'll explain why in a minute because it's about to be my turn. So there's still 3 stud outfielders left, so I should be able to get at least one of them. There's Tatis. All right, so we got 2 Astros left. Now, I don't have to take an outfielder. I'm not going to say I feel obligated. Well, look, there you go. Matt Olson off the board. All right. My decision here, first round, is almost always between one of those outfielders, or do I take Freddie Freeman? Bobby Witt, also very tempting pick. But here's the thing. Look, let me just take my pick first. I'm going to go Jordan. I love Jordan. If you pass on those 2 outfielders, even by the time I get back here, and I'm going to pick 15, you're going to Kyle Schwarber, who, again, in best ball, probably a little more valuable because you don't have to worry about his batting average and lack of steals sinking you. Then you get to some risky. Yes, Mike Trout is risky. You get some good players like Arozarena, Luis Robert, but some guys who then very quickly gets honestly a little iffy this early. Talk about round 3 and 4. I don't want Brian Reynolds in like round 3 or 4. George Springer, not in a best ball format. I want guys who could go on a tear and have those spikes. So I am going to almost always take an outfielder with my first pick. And look, there goes Tucker, Strider, and Cole, those 2 aces. Don't mind taking the ace early, but honestly, in this format, I'm waiting probably till round 3, 4 to take a pitcher as well. But is there a chance Freddie Freeman gets back to me? A small chance, but if not, I'm fine with Bobby Witt. So let's see right here. And I'll talk to you a little bit about some of the research I've done. I did a video on this already. Wow. Okay. Freddie Freeman at the 15. Absolutely no complaints with this start, going Freeman and Jordan. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what this draft is like, and I'll show you real quick. This is the dinger. So if you do go to the Underdog lobby here, you can see as far as baseball, if you want a baseball draft, just click MLB. And then you got the dinger. It's the $10 entry, not much, but $750K prize pool, pretty good. It's one of their tournaments. Perfect game, ups the ante here. It's a $100 entry, and you're thinking, wait a minute, the prizes, there's less prizes. That's because there's far less entries. This is the total prize pool, but you individually can win more. Now, if you take down the whole tournament of the dinger, yeah, you get $100,000, but you have a much better chance of doing that in the perfect game because it's only 10K to first, but again, far fewer entrants, only 1,000 total entries, 1,080 to be exact, as opposed to 84,000. So you have to take down 84,000 different people to win the dinger. And if you want first place overall, I think it's worth it for $10. But anyways, then you got the solo shot, also single entry. That's kind of nice. fewer entrants, 50K, 10K at first. And then the eliminators, which I'm doing some eliminators. In fact, I was going to do, hopefully, get into one of these little eliminators right now. In fact, I might want to, yeah. Oh, well, that's okay. I joined a couple of these just to see which one would fill first. So that one's just going to have to ride on auto. Oh, well. But anyways, you got so many different choices here. Just make sure you click MLB, all these different options. Right. Now let's look at the rules here. The dinger still got 13 picks until it's my turn, so I got plenty of time here. $10 entry. Talked about the prize pools already. This is a tournament. If you're filling with best ball, you go regular season, weekly basis, and then if you win your individual league, you get to the tournament where you face off against all the other winners, and then it keeps dwindling down like a March Madness type deal. 20-round draft, 12 teams in the draft, 30-second clock, so it's going to move pretty quickly, which is the idea here. And there's the tournament schedule if you're interested in the qualifier. You got to win the first 16 weeks of the season, and then a 2-week quarter, 2-week semi, 2-week championship. Wins are worth 5. Quality starts also worth 5. Think about that. Both are worth 5. So, yeah, you want pitchers on good teams. You might notice saves, holds, not on here. You're not drafting relievers at all. There's absolutely no point in drafting a reliever unless you're in the late rounds and you want a guy who you think will get some wins in relief, which is a really bad idea to try to project. Just forget it. Just draft starters here, even if they're risky. Strikeouts worth 3, innings pitched worth 3, earned runs -3. You really just want workhorses here. That's what you want. You really do. And then for hitters, singles are worth 3. That's interesting because you don't have to have guys who are sluggers getting up just home runs and then guys who are racking up steals. Steals are only worth 4. So yes, steals help, but again, a player like a Bobby Witt may not be as valuable as a guy like Freddie Freeman in this format. Home runs, yes, definitely going to help you. So I'm going to prefer sluggers in this format. Hit by pitch, 3. Runs, RBIs, only 2. So you want guys who are accumulators, guys who just rack up hits, guys who will rack up at bats. So that's really the name of the game here. We're looking for like a breakout player. Guys are just going to be out there a lot and accumulating a lot of hits and for pitchers innings. All right, let's get back to the actual draft here because now I'm almost up. See Riley, Schwarber, Simeon, definitely valuable in this format. J-Ram, Harper, there's 3 more of those outfielders, and then an infield run. Now, infielders are really going to be kind of the bread and butter of your lineup here. Also, I really didn't go over the roster format. I think I kind of skimmed over that real quick. Sorry. 3 pitchers, 3 infielders, 3 outfielders, and a flex. So, yeah, it's pretty balanced. But if you notice, there's 6 hitters versus 3 pitchers. So you're going to go offensive heavy. So here we go. I would normally say Corey Seager would be my pick. A little worried with the injury already. He's had so many injuries. I'm just going to take Ozzie Albies in this case. There you go. I know you say, well, Brian Reynolds is kind of that guy. I don't know. I've never had good luck with Brian Reynolds. Like whenever he has a good season, I was off of him and vice versa. When I'm on him, he had a bad season. I don't know. So anyways, I'm going to go with a guy like Albies. And then got a couple of picks here. Lindor fits my bill. Ellie De La Cruz. I've been fading him in his ADP. In this format, I'm absolutely fading him because he's not going to get as many total bases and hits as some other players. He's going to get a bunch of stolen bases, which is still good, but not as valuable as it is in a roto league. So De La Cruz, sorry, I would gladly take Francisco Lindor instead. Let's see if he falls to me. Now, I'm okay taking one of these pitchers as well. Luis Castillo, Zach Wheeler, Pablo Lopez. So let's kind of see what the deal is. I already have 2 infielders and an outfielder. I'm okay taking a third infielder if I need to. Well, there goes Lindor. So I probably won't. Yeah, I'm almost certainly with these picks that are left here, I'm almost certainly going to take a pitcher. Okay, there goes Altuve, pretty solid. Do I take a chance on Yamamoto being a stud, or do I take a Luis Castillo? You know what? Zach Wheeler is pretty close here. Little worried about Yamamoto's innings pitched. That's the only thing. I actually like Castillo because he was one of the leaders in innings pitched last year in the majors. The Mariners had three guys who were in the top, I believe, 15 in total innings pitched in wins. They're going to let their starters stay out there for a long time. Castillo is going to be very valuable in this format. Look, Wheeler totally fine too. Lopez totally fine. Yamamoto, the only thing with the Dodgers is when Walker Buehler comes back, Bobby Miller there now. Are they going to go at some points to a six-man rotation? Are they going to give their guys rest days just to keep them all fresh for the postseason so they don't choke again? That's my only issue with Yamamoto is I just don't know about the innings pitch. I feel totally secure with Castillo in terms of workload. So I guess I'm playing it safe early. I'm okay with that. I'm okay playing it safe and boring with Freddie Freeman and Jordan. Jordan's not really that safe because he tends to miss games, but yeah, I'll take a chance on him because his best week when he's hot is better than pretty much anyone's best week. Guy just mashes the ball. All right, so Castillo, Freeman, Albies, Jordan. If I could get that start in any kind of format, best ball or not, I'm pretty happy with it. All right. As we wait for the next pick, I'm going to actually try to move myself so y'all can see the queue here a little bit better. I'm not really adding players to my queue. I don't know that that's really necessary. Give me a second. I'm going to mess around with this for a second. Okay. Actually, you know what? That works, doesn't it? Let's just leave it like that. I'll be right on top looking down at all the picks. What is up? Tris is in the house. We're going to draft soon, aren't we? You got some of the most competitive leagues out there for sure. And Spencer, yeah, Castillo, definitely workhorse. Gilbert, also, little Gilbert and Kirby, those guys are young, but man, they left him out there for a while. Seattle definitely not a team that's playing bullpen games if they can help it. That's why I like Brian Wu. Actually, I think should step up a little bit in that regard this year. Last year, averaged less than 5 innings per appearance. I mean, I'm hoping that goes up this year. I think it will. So I really like Wu late, and that's a guy I might be targeting a lot too. Bryce Miller as well. Those are two guys I'm on. All right, I'm gonna close this lobby. All right, here we go. So now you see some more outfielders with upside, but also a little bit, I guess, a question mark. So some of these guys, Castellanos, Chisholm, Nimmo, pretty solid. Actually, Nimmo pretty valuable in this format because he will accumulate. He's not going to hit 40 home run. It's not going to steal a ton of bases. He'll do a little bit of everything, but he knows how to get on base. He draws walks, and that's good for this format. So Nimmo, kind of an underrated guy. Same with Hap, not super exciting, but those guys are very solid in the outfield. All right, look, 3 picks away. Here we go. I got a pitcher, 2 infielders, and an outfielder. I don't know if I'm feeling to Oscar at the outfield. Suzuki is a nice pick, so I'm going to add him to the queue. Blake Snell is still out there. I mean, I know he doesn't have a team, but still, it feels late. So do I take him over these guys, though? You know what? A little bit, by the way, you're looking at Machado there. Yeah, I'm a little off Machado this year. I'm a little worried. Okay, so I like the pitcher value here. I love Glass now. I think I'm on him in Roto. I'll take the risk just because he's so dominant when he's out there, but the injury risk, I don't need to worry about it. In best ball, I think Kirby is there. Kirby, it's going to be what the heck? Let's do it. Kirby Castillo. Go with 2 Mariner starters. Why not? I love George Kirby. Yeah, Glass now and Scuball in Detroit. Those are 2 guys. There's all risk versus reward, right? Are you going to take the shot on them actually staying healthy? I think I'm okay with one of those guys, but I don't want to load in best ball my lineup with too many risky guys because there's no waivers and there's no trades. So it's kind of calculated risks here. You got to have a little bit of balance. JP, you want to buy low on Machado? Look, maybe you think it's low. I don't know if he's low right now. I think people are still just going off name recognition. right? They're expect him to just do what he does. I don't know, man. That whole Padres lineup probably will take a step back this year. And coming off elbow surgery, I'm just a little nervous. I don't mind taking him if he's a good value. Just don't know if he's a good value right now. He's still being drafted like everything's just fine. All right, there goes Suzuki. Now, I noticed, by the way, Evan Carter, I'm all in on Evan Carter. I know some people aren't, but his ADP has jumped up a lot. It used to be closer to 100. In these drafts, it's going way up. So I'm actually off of him. I'm going to go ahead and do, wow, I'm going to do what I was just talked about. Logan Webb seems safe, but I got two kind of safe pitchers. Let's go in on Glass now. No, never mind. Let's go in on Snell. Sorry. Nope, we got Grayson Rodriguez because that took too long, which is okay. It's okay. I messed around. I probably wouldn't have got him next pick. Hey, look at my bold predictions. You'll see what I think about Grayson Rodriguez. So I'm okay with that. But yeah, this clock goes pretty fast, especially when you're talking and thinking. So I only have one outfielder, and that's okay because I'm outfielder in particular in these underdog drafts. I'm kind of, I guess, kind of going a stars and scrubs approach to that position. I'm going to get at least one stud early, and then I think I'm just waiting. And so I'm waiting for guys. Let me load up McHugh. I love Riley Green. His ADP is also climbing, but I'm still in on him. Josh Lowe, his ADP seems to be falling, and so good value there. Churio, I don't know. I'm worried about the at-bat totals, especially in this format. Wyatt Langford seems a little risky here. Byron Buxton always risky. So yeah, and then these guys I'm just waiting on. So I love Jordan Walker. You know that if you saw my my other breakout video, but I don't know if it's too early for him here. What is up, Uncle Ted in the house? Thank you. Appreciate that. Not going to draft a starter until round 12. That's pretty bold. That's pretty bold. Round 12 seems a little late. I don't mind waiting, but I don't know about 12. Yes, this is a guy I'm definitely in on. I love me some Tristan Casas. I feel like I haven't talked about him lately because I talked about him so much early in the season. So I'm trying to back off a little bit. But I am actually going to have a lot of Casas in my leagues. See where he's at. In fact, still got 10 picks. All right, so infield, Royce Lewis is a guy I'm all over. Yes, I'm in on. I'll take a shot on O'Neill Cruz, one of those guys. Casas. Look at all these infielders who could be studs here that are left. Of course, there goes Lewis, and that's fine. Torkelson, this format, are you kidding? Guy could hit 40 bombs, 10 each. Yeah, I'm in on Torkelson. I know he'll strike out quite a bit. It's okay. I'll take that. Yandy feeling a little undervalued, especially here. Because if you look at it, let me get back to the rules real quick. Singles, again, Yandy finally got around to hitting home runs. But look, walk 3 points. A walk is as good as a single, which makes sense because that's like real life. You get a guy like Yandy who barely strikes out, walks a lot. He is valuable in this format. And the RBIs are worth less than a walk. Just wrap your head around that. An RBI or a run scored is worth less than a walk. Okay. So I don't need a guy who's going to drive in 100 runs. I need a guy who's got good plate discipline. Tristan Casas walks as much as he strikes out. Yandy Diaz. Yeah, that does drop Torkelson a little bit. So I wouldn't take Torkelson necessarily over Yandy in this scoring system. I like Gleyber Torres, a little undervalued. I don't have to get him later. And that's why you see a guy like CJ Abrams, who in a redraft league, like a 5x5 roto, he'll probably go in the top 50 because everyone wants those stolen bases, right? You can't think that way in this type of scoring system. He is not nearly as valuable. All right. Let's see. Got 3 pitchers. Man, I would be all over Singoff. He wasn't on the IL already. Yeah, there goes Riley Green. Okay. There we go. Casas going right at ADP. I'm taking it. That was a gift. We spoke it into existence. So now I have to decide with three infielders, only one outfielder. I don't like to pick just based on position. But do I pull the trigger on my top outfielder left? I got another Red Sox player here, Yoshida, who's very solid in this format. Josh Lowe's a little less valuable in this format. Again, those steals are nice, but they're not of a huge advantage in this system. Um, and playing time is always an issue with Tampa Bay, right? Except for Yandy. Okay, there goes Yoshida. So Arnado is tempting. Yeah, I don't see any outfielder here who's jumping off the page at me, and the same thing with these pitchers. It's either I'm just gonna take the veteran, I'm gonna go Arnado. Again, a guy who walks a lot, doesn't hurt himself with too many strikeouts. There you go. I'm probably not gonna get these guys. If Yandy happens to fall to me, I'll still take him. I doubt he will. But look, I'm okay taking four infielders before I have my second outfielder because remember, in this format, 3-3, and then you do get a flex. More likely than not, you're going to flex an infielder because the infielders are just better than the outfielders in this draft. The way it goes. I mean, look at the outfielders we got left here. Low, young player, possibly sitting sometimes against lefties, playing time issues. Churio, playing time, question marks. Friedel, good, not great. Jung-Hoo Lee, I think, could be solid, but not too exciting. Langford, don't know when he's going to get the call. Outman's okay. Buxton, serious playing time, question marks. Eloy, just a lot of question marks here. Look, I probably will wind up taking some guy who's not exciting, but probably effective, like Chas McCormick. I'm definitely not taking a guy like Dalton Varsho. Mm, yeah, I don't even love any of these outfielders. You say, well, maybe I waited too long. Maybe I did, but that's okay because my infielders are going to mash. Might even take another pitcher first. Cole Reagan's still on the board here. Joe Musgrove be undervalued this year. Yuri Perez, I know I love Yuri, but how many innings are they going to let him throw? Already saying that they might have a restriction on him. So I don't know about that. Hunter Green, also super talented, super risky. Sonny Gray might be a better pick in this format. So we'll see. All right. Let's see. Yeah, he's a beast. Well, money often talks. We'll see. He's going to play every day, right? That's the thing. He's going to play every day. He's going to probably hit lead off. I think that's where he's slotted right now. So, yeah, that's the thing. Lee's going to get those plate appearances. He's going to be an accumulator. So, I'm not going to have a ton of him in redraft and roto leagues. I don't know if I'll take Lee in this format. You think the guy doesn't have huge power, stolen base upside? Why would you want him in best ball? Because again, look at the way the scoring system is. It's not just about those numbers. All right, let's see. Back to the draft. 5 picks away. These things fly. All right. Some good pitchers still left. Yeah, I can wait on Chaz. I can definitely wait. ADP 127. Now, I don't really go. Actually, I'm gonna put Jung Ho. He's probably gonna get taken right before me though. ADP, you don't want to worry too much about. You want to get your guys, but on the other hand, you know this if you play best ball, whether it's football or baseball. If you want to actually win a tournament against thousands of other people, you have to keep it in mind because the people who advance are going to be the ones who get those values that you're taking a guy at good value. If you're reaching on all your picks, you're not giving yourself an advantage over the competition. So it just depends how much risk you want to take on. I'm not saying you can't take a guy ever before ADP because ADPs shift and change, but you always have to think value. That's why I'm telling you, oh, this guy's dropped. This guy's, shot up in value. Wow. All right. He's been sitting there a little bit after his ADP. There you go. Held out with side soreness. That's awesome. I'm not worried about that. Let's take him. So I got my second outfielder. There you go. He'll get plenty of singles, if nothing else. He'll score some runs. And then, yeah, all these outfielders, I'm just really not in on. I'm gonna wait till my next go around before I look at outfielders. Like a guy you really don't even want, honestly, at all in this format is Esteury Ruiz, who in Roto, just for steals alone, is valuable. In this format, he's not going to be a top scorer. There's no chance he is. He has zero power. He's probably going to be hitting near the bottom of the lineup, which is the Oakland A's lineup, which is one of the worst in the majors again. So what is the upside here? There is none. Okay, wow, Xander Bogart's still available. Not anymore because I just mentioned his name. Like Xander Bogart's in this format, totally fine. And a guy I would take, but of course his injury is going to keep him out. Yeah, right there, Josh Young. Reevaluate in 2 to 3 weeks. That's brutal because man, I was all in on him. All right, I'm gonna go boring. I know Uncle Ted wants me to take Yuri. Musgrove again, very undervalued because remember that injury last year threw him off, and he just wasn't quite the same. He's just still a solid pitcher. He will be out there, and I almost guarantee, again, assuming nobody lands in the IL, who knows, but Musgrove will throw more innings than Yuri. That's my deciding factor there. Not an exciting name, but I think he's just going to be a better scorer. That's it. That's the name of the game. That's why I still got like Sonny Gray and Hunter Green. I like Hunter Green. I might take Hunter Green next, but I might have Sonny Gray ahead of him. So we'll see. Next up, I'm probably going to take Chaz if he's out there. Well, there goes Hunter Green. Yeah, so you never know. You never know who's going to be available. Always going to be about value. Here, I like Jaron Duran quite a bit. He's a decent value guy who doesn't rely too much on either power or speed. Question is, where is he going to hit in the lineup? Pretty sure he'll be an everyday starter. He should hit for average. So I like Duran quite a bit. I kind of like all the Red Sox outfield. So he's a maybe. He's a maybe for me. Hunter Green is gross. Oh well, you're just not a fan of starting pitchers, I'm guessing. Now here's a question. Here's a question. A guy, what do you do with a guy like Jackson Holiday? Word is he might make the opening day roster. Is he gonna be an everyday starter? Who knows? I mean, how long is it gonna take, right? How long? So that's the big risk you're gonna take here. I might take it. I think I might take it. Holiday is that good. I do find myself later in the drafts taking a shot on a guy like Jordan Westberg, who should be a pretty much everyday player. Um, Again, he's not somebody who he's kind of forgotten just because he's on the Orioles because there's so many good young players there. But you can't just ignore him. So yeah, I might be in on Westberg at his ADP much later than other guys. Crappy. All right, well that's fair enough. The whip you want guys who don't walk players. That's why I took Kirby early. Yeah, I get that. All right. Getting here to round 11. There goes Jackson Holiday. Feel like that's about right for him. You're not going top 100 picks. You're not waiting too long. I feel like that's fair for Holiday. Let's see. Still got two outfielders. Yeah. Now I don't feel like I have to take an outfielder. I go Sonny Gray. All right, I got 7 picks left. Let's see if Chaz his ADP is 127, which is actually later than when I'm 130. So yeah, I don't know that I'll get him. But look at all these outfielders still there. Okay, there goes Duran. Morel is very interesting. Problem is he's what going to be the utility guy this year. Don't think he's playing third base every day. Maybe best ball is a better format for him. So we'll see. I think he might be plan B if I don't get McCormick. I might go Morel. Kellenic feels a little risky for me. Varsho, I'm just not interested in. Taylor Ward, just not exciting. Sawinski, I can get Sawinski next round, possibly. Let's add him to the queue. Note Bar is a guy who's just a power hitter. I'm not going to really be on him in this format. And I feel like I'm taking him every draft, but Tyler O'Neill, but again, probably like him better in Roto because of the power speed as opposed to this best ball scoring. All right, let's see. You Darvish, Hunter Brown. Do you like Hunter Brown? Hey, there we go. Easy decision made. Chaz is it, and there goes Morel. Okay, so now I do have three outfielders. I do have four infielders. I have four starting pitchers. I have a starting lineup. I can go any direction here I want. I'm going for values. I do like Vinny P. I do like Volpe. I know Volpe in this format, you think, well, yeah, he got you some steals and homers last year, but the average sucked. I think we're going to see a different Volpe this year. If you saw, he's already working to flatten out his swing. He was trying to get some power last year, and he did at the cost of his batting average. We're going to see more singles, more doubles, I think, this year. His average, I think, will be totally fine. There goes Sawinski. Okay, no outfielders I like. Bibby is very solid here. Ooh, Imanaga's out there. I think I'm gonna take a risk and see if I can wait on Imanaga. I'll just go Bibby. Or maybe I'll take Vinny P. No, I'll go Bibby. All right. Yeah, Imanaga is very interesting. I'm gonna go add some players queue. I'm taking a lot of Michael King. Feel like he's still undervalued. I remember moving from the Bronx to San Diego should be good for him. Maybe not in terms of wins, but he'll get plenty of quality starts, and park factor is definitely better there. All right, Tris wants to know what to expect from Walker Bueller. I expect that he's not going to be on any of my fantasy teams. I'm not taking a guy who might not appear until June, May, June, and then when he appears is going to be limited to like 4 or 5 innings max. Um, and then of course always risk re-injury, risk of other issues. Like why am I going to burn a draft pick on a player like that? Because we're thinking, oh, remember a couple of years ago, one of the best pitchers in baseball. I like to remember the future as opposed to the past. I don't care what he did a couple years ago. What is he going to do this year? He's not going to throw a lot of innings. He's not going to be the same guy, right? It's just going to take time. I'm not stashing Jacob DeGrom or Max Scherzer. There's just no point. So sorry, I'm not doing it. And then let's see, got some other things. Ooh, Kobe Mayo. Now, Kobe Mayo is interesting, but again, playing time. What's the issue there? There's too many. Some of these guys have to get traded. I think the word is that Colton Cowser is the one who might go first. He just actually hit a walk off in spring training for whatever that's worth. Something's got to give, right? At some point, they already went out and got Burns. At some point they're going to go out probably mid-season, maybe before the deadline, trade some of these guys to get another frontline starter, especially if Bradish winds up being hurt. He is hurt, but yeah, I have a feeling some of these guys are going to be on the move. But who's it going to be? All right, JP, interesting question. Altuve or Bichette? I'm assuming you're talking just traditional roto, not necessarily this best ball. But I guess I'll answer both. I'm still in on Bichette. I will say a little concerned about the lack of steals, and you dig into it, he's still fast. He's obviously very young. It's nothing like he's losing a step. But the reason he's stealing less is because he doesn't seem to be very good at it. He's been caught stealing like 7 or more times the last 2 years. So I think they're gonna give him the red light a little bit more often. Toronto, not a team that's run crazy, so I don't feel like Bichette's necessarily gonna be a super stud like we thought he might be. But in Roto, I still like him because the batting average. It's harder nowadays to get a guy who can hit 300 than a guy who can steal 20 bases. So I'm still in on him in this format, in this underdog format. I'll take Altuve because I mean you just know he's gonna rack up points. He is like last year was just because he was hurt. Bichette will still get a ton of singles. Obviously, he'll get some home runs. He'll get about 20 plus, but I still feel like Altuve is just more of an anchor for a team. Bichette and Roto, I don't know that I say I prefer him. I think I have him maybe slightly ahead, but it's going to be really close. So if I had to choose, my gut tells me I probably should just take Altuve, but I'm taking Bichette just because I feel like there's at least some room for him to grow a little bit more in terms of power. Maybe he does figure out the stolen base thing, but Altuve is a guy who. Oh, hold on, it's my turn. Yes, someone foretold this pick. It's Michael King. I already talked about that. There we go. Aspen. Yep, Michael King it is. So back to this. Yeah, back to this with Altuve and Bichette. Um, it's super close. It's super close. Altuve is just he had a really high BABIP last year, but he's a guy who can do that. So I feel better about Bichette in terms of his batting average. And if you're looking for runs scored, these guys are pretty equal. Altuve is going to give you a little bit more in power. Uh, yeah, I don't know. Say draw. I'm still barely leaning Bichette, and that's probably just an ageism thing. All right, let's see where we are at. We're at my turn again. I got six. I just realized I have six pitchers. All right, I'm gonna back up off the pitchers. Let's go. That's fine. I don't really love any of those pitchers here. So we got sluggers. Berger, Paredes, Suarez. Guys who are gonna get a lot of bombs, but not average necessarily. Contreras is kind of an in-between. I don't like any of these. Let's go Contreras. I like Contreras. Guy can hit for average and get you about 20 home runs, I think. He didn't really take a step forward like I thought he might last year, but he's still solid. If I'm going to take one of these sluggers, I do like Berger because his average really improved in the second half last year when he went to Miami. So I would take a chance on him over Paredes. And then there goes Suarez. Suarez has never hit for average. Now, what about a guy like Luis Arias? Batting average isn't a category in this format because there are no categories, it's points. But the fact that he gets so many base hits, that makes him valuable. Now, he's not going to have these spike weeks because he just doesn't hit home runs or steal bases. So he's going to be more solid, steady. It's a floor play here. I'm okay with a floor play, but this is why he's ranked this low. I do need some depth at outfielder. I do realize this. Look, here's a spike play. How about Giancarlo Stanton? I get it. Everyone's off of him after last year, but he's leaning mean this year. You can see him. You can see it. I think he's back. I think he's going to be in for at least 40 home runs this year. Like at his ADP, why not take a chance? He's motivated. I think he's going to be motivated. Well, let's see if Berger makes it back to me. Oh, wait, he just got picked. That's fine. That's all right. That's all right. Let's see. Yeah, outfield, like I said, you're taking some flyers here. Parker Meadows is a guy I like. All in on Detroit this year. Henry Davis, I think he's being slept on. Post-hype sleeper right there. Kerry Carpenter, pretty solid. He is, like it says here, hamstring issue. Doesn't seem to be serious, so he's young. He'll be fine. I'm gonna put him up there. Yeah, gonna go offense here. We'll see about it. All right, let's see where he goes. And there's still some good young pitchers I like in this format too. I mean, I'm not gonna take one, but look, there's Bueller. Okay, not talking about him. There's Bryce Miller, Brian Wu. Mentioned them earlier. I know I could just take the whole Mariners staff. I'm still in on Mackenzie Gore. I'm going to talk about that pretty soon, by the way. I'm going to get on Potapalooza and talk about some SB sleepers. I'm all in still on Mackenzie Gore. I was in last year. He let me down, but look, he's still got stuff. I still think he could be really effective. Kyle Harrison, not quite as stuffy, but I still think he can be very effective. So I like Harrison. Pepio, why is he being drafted this late? Okay, I get it. Innings concerns because he's on Tampa Bay, but man, I'll take the upside here this late for sure. Nestor Cortez, man, some great values here, and Cutter Crawford also a guy I'm definitely in on. So yeah, I might have gone a little too pitcher heavy early because there's still so many pitchers I like here late, but that's okay because we still got a few rounds left. Got 5 infielders already. That's pretty good. I do need some outfielders, but again, you notice I'm not drafting based on balance, not drafting based on position. I'm drafting based on value, where I can get these guys. I think I'll take Carpenter here if he lands to me. He's going, his ADP is 170, so it's already a good value. JD Martinez. Is he going to be wind up being a steal? Because, we just don't know if where he's going to play. There's JD Martinez off the board. This guy only has 2 infielders. So think I'm light on outfielders. Okay, he still only has 2 infielders. This bold strategy. Let's see if it pays off. The Carpenter gets taken here, then I'm waiting. Thank God. I take Kerry Carpenter. All right. So now at least I have a full complement of outfielders. 6'5", 4. Not too bad. Pretty balanced. This, by the way, you see 20 rounds. Other outfielders. Mike, like, well, I'll probably take Meadows off the board here just because I took Carpenter already. Not that I have to, but I want to differentiate a little bit from teams. All right. Next up, let's get rid of this. Let's see. We're at pick 183. All these guys I have tagged are way lower than that. Correa, sorry, just doesn't excite me anymore. Tovar is actually, you know what? I think Tovar is a pretty good pick. Uh yeah, go Tovar. Look, he scored over 1,000 points in this format last year, his first full season. Because he's not a guy who's gonna, be a category winner in any particular category, but he's gonna hit probably top of that lineup, get base hits, get some power, some speed. So good balanced kind of player you want in this format. So I like him. Yeah, I'll take him over Correa. Correa's batting average always is mid at best. All right, another question. Let's see here. And this is from, let's see, El Benitez. Fourth, fifth round, prefer Goldie or Bregman? I'm in on Goldschmidt, and I did talk about him as this guy who I feel like is slightly undervalued. Both these guys are past what you would consider their prime. I keep seeing this stuff about Bregman being so undervalued. Everyone says like his ADPs in this 60s and 70s, yet he wound up being, player 30 something. How is this? The guy does not steal any bases anymore. At least Goldschmidt can get you 10 steals, right? Not he doesn't steal 20 anymore, but he'll get you some steals. Bregman's power isn't great anymore either. 20, 23, 25 home runs is probably his ceiling now these days. Goldschmidt will get you that with upside for more. I think he can go 30. And his batting average is good, but it's not great anymore either. I mean, Bregman is a guy, especially I'd say in this format, I'm pretty much fading because he is getting by on his run and RBI production, which will still be there for the most part because he's in the Astros lineup. But I don't know. I don't feel like in Roto he's as valuable as we think he is. Yes, runs count just as much as home runs and all that, but still, I don't know. I think I'm gonna go Goldschmidt here because I do think he and Arenado and the Cardinals have a better season. I just like Goldschmidt's upside a little bit more. Let's see with Bregman. You never know with that guy. I think he's fine, but I'm going Goldie. And look, you already have Acuna, Burns, and Alonso. That's pretty good. Let's see. You think that fourth, fifth round, go Goldie and a pitcher? Oh yeah. I mean that's a good range to take a pitcher, depending who's available in your draft. You already got Burns. That's nice, but you could still get a guy kind of like a Castillo. You could get a guy Wheeler. Maybe will be there fourth round. He'll probably be there. I feel like you could get one of your pitchers, and maybe should take one of your pitchers before Goldie. Feels like that's how these drafts are going, unless your league, tends to favor the known players and the veterans. But I've seen Goldschmidt's. Why I called him a good value. He was an ADP faller from last year. I think you could probably go pitching in fourth and Goldie in the fifth. That's what I would do. Ah, there. Okay, someone else is still on Mackenzie Gore. There goes Gore. There goes Harrison. The guys I was talking about. All right, I'm up now. All right, there goes Tosh Bradley. I was in on Tosh Bradley. Now I'm a little worried about Tosh Bradley. We'll save that for another time. All right, so I do have another infielder. I got 6. I got 4 outfielders, but I don't feel forced to take one of these outfielders. Let's go pitcher again. Let's take that guy, Pepio. I like him. Yeah, outfield just, I mean, look at what's out here. It's thin. I will take some chances on Dylan Cruz. We'll see when he debuts, how much he plays, how he, adjusts to major league pitching. The guy's got a hit tool. So I'm taking a ton of Dylan Cruz, especially last round pick. Are you kidding? Okay, 764. Yeah, I guess I should take an outfielder. At this point, I'm ignoring ADP though. Sorry, I don't care how late Jock Peterson and Andrew Benintendi are going. I'm not in on them. Let's just go probably with a player who won't get taken in this pick, and Henry Davis got some power. I do think he got the ability to get like to 260-ish average. Should hit hopefully top half of that lineup eventually. Yeah, let's go with Davis. So I got 2 picks left. So at this point, again, you're talking about 200s. ADP really won't make that big a difference. Picking the right guy does make a difference. So let's look for upside for players who actually will play. That's important. I like Cruz. Let's see who else. I did like Luis Matos until they signed Soler. Don't like him so much anymore. We'll see. Luke Rayleigh is kind of interesting. Kind of interesting. In this scoring system, I don't like him as much. If I knew Garrett Mitchell was healthy and going to play on a regular basis, I would be all over him, but he's kind of a wait and see. I will say Jesus Sanchez still interests me a little bit. Wish I could be in on Joe Adele. Just can't do it. In a Roto League, I'll tell you one of my favorite sleepers. I still like Esteban Florial of the Guardians. I think he's going to play a lot more than people think. He's got some pop. He's got a great speed. Yeah, Florial guy. I don't think I'll take in this format, but definitely on. Yeah, now we're just too deep here. We're just too deep. Drew Waters, Trent Grisham, maybe. Oh, I did see Dominic Fletcher, but yeah. All right. Let's see here. Now, more in a roto league, I do like Nelson Velasquez as well. At this point, yeah, maybe worth it. Maybe because he does have that power. He should play pretty much every day. We'll bump him up a little bit. Yeah, Siri is still there. I love Siri. I like him a lot more in Roto home runs and steals. Yeah, Siri is definitely a guy I'm all over. Hey, El asking, can you ask more directly? Yeah, absolutely. I do have a Twitter. You can DM me. Totally fine with it. Yeah, you can send me a DM on Twitter. It's at EndgamePierre. Or I don't know if you happen to be in the Discord. You can check out the Discord link. We probably have it linked here somewhere in the description of the channel, or you can go to the Fantasy Football channel, Fantasy Endgame for football, and there's a Discord link. You can join the Discord if you do football also. But yeah, absolutely. You can message me anytime. Let's see. I was going to mention this. Yes. I'm so funny that you mentioned this. Just totally coincidental. You talk about auction because I just happened to drop a video today on auction strategies. So if you want to check that out, I love auctions. I mean, I don't love that they sometimes take 3 or 4 hours, but I love drafting, so I actually do kind of love it. But yeah, I love auctions. That's where the hardcore players go, and that's where the real strategy is, right? Um, you never tried an auction? Just try it. It's fun. I mean, it's not that intimidating. It's what you think it is. You're just bidding money for players, and just don't go crazy overspending early. And just you just have to find that sweet spot of getting the right players at the right price. Getting some of those studs early, getting some of those values late. It's just fun though. Yeah, but you can check that out. That video just came out this morning on strategies to say what I've learned as far as what works, what doesn't work in an auction. And not just from me personally, but what I've learned from some very smart people that I've done auctions with. All right, here we go. Last two picks. I'll go Velasquez. I like him. Let me see if I can pull up real quick the Discord link. See if I can get it for you before I sign off. Here we go. Discord. Oh, well, hold on. I'm about to pick. I'm going to make sure I don't miss my pick. So I got 766, and it's funny because we wound up with very few outfielders in the beginning, and now we're about to have more outfielders than infielders and the same as pitchers. But this is by design. Again, I went heavy infield pitching early. My outfielders are not as good quality wise. If you look, I got Jordan, but then I waited till after pick 100 to get my number 2 outfielder, which we'll see how that works out. So I'm kind of making up for it. I already have so much Dylan Cruz, honestly, here, and I need playing time. I'm going to take Jesus Sanchez because I've taken Cruz so many times. So there you go. At least mixing and matching these guys on a weekly basis, get some upside. And this is why when I have, 3 anchors in my staff here, and yeah, I think Grayson Rodriguez will be an anchor, and Musgrove is a solid pitcher. I don't need as many pitchers, right? And Pepio is kind of a risky player. An infielder, yeah, sure, they're not all young and exciting, but that's okay. We want accumulation of stats here. All right, so let me just drop that Discord link if you want to know how to join. I'm about to get out of here because I'm going to go live. You would check Podapalooza on YouTube, the Justin Mason's channel. And I'll do probably a recap of my draft after that ends. All right, try that, see if it works. Dad wants me to just not draft pitchers. Hey, you know what? Maybe I'll do that next time. Maybe we'll go for broke and we'll do like a 0 SP build. I'm not sure how that'll work, but I guess we'll try that. All right, and there it is. The last pick about to be made. Matt Chapman. Man, that could be a steal. The very last second to last pick of the draft. All right, guys. That was it. We did it. Did a live MLB draft best ball. Dinger, another one in the books. So appreciate you joining me. Again, check the channel for all of the strategies. Sleepers, you want to know who I really like? I'll tell you on there. All right, guys. See you on the next one.